Welcome, friends and neighbors, to another Sun King Studio 92 session, powered by Klipsch speakers and headphones. And let's welcome Sara Kays back home.
All of my teachers were right. I use math every day of my life. I add, subtract, divide, and most of the time it makes me wanna die. 'Cause the number below my feet and the number below my spine and the numbers on the menu are always too high. So I don't know how low I have to go, 'cause I wake up in my body and it never feels like home. I feel like I'm in another person's house. I can't get out, so I don't know how low I have to go. I wanna rewire my mind, so I don't care if there's a space between my thighs, and it keeps me up at night to think I'll calculate until the day I die. 'Cause the number below my feet and the number below my spine and the numbers on the menu are always too high. So I don't know how low I have to go, 'cause I wake up in my body and it never feels like home. I feel like I'm in another person's house. I can't get out, so I don't know how low I have to go. In my mind are set out to ruin my life. I don't wanna let them win, but they just might. And I know this is a problem that I'm improperly solving when I say I'll just go lower one more time. So I don't know how low I have to go, 'cause I wake up in my body and it never feels like home. I feel like I'm in another person's house. I can't get out, so I don't know how low I have to go. Thank you.
All right, Sara Kays, let's have a little chat and we'll hear some more. Welcome home. Do you consider this a homecoming show tonight?
Yeah, this is like my first time playing a real show in Indy.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Really?
kind of. Like I played a million bar gigs and grocery store gigs and busking.
You played the Kroger in Carmel.
Right.
Yeah.
The two-story one, I played overlooking the produce section. I used to play there was like a Tilted Kilt downtown here. I used to play there on Friday nights.
I've been there. Remember
Cursed.
that place?
Yeah.
Where else would you play? Because I was wondering about that. Because reading up to meet you today, she was playing all over like 9-10 years ago.
Yeah.
Where else?
I used to play. I don't even think it's a restaurant anymore. Scotty's Brew House in Carmel. I used to play there. Mm-hmm. That was my first like real gig because I was busking across the street from there, and my dad asked them like if they did live music and gave them my little business card, and they had me play there. And then I used to play at this place in Geist. I don't remember the name of it, but it was overlooking the water. And
what would you play? I know it was a lot of covers, and you'd play for like 2-3 hours at a time.
Mm-hmm. Man, I tried to just play the covers that I thought people would know. So like, Shape of You by Ed Sheeran and Wonderwall and Santeria.
Yeah, there you go.
Get some good tips from the older men.
You introduced a friend on stage the other night, Pickles the Frog.
Yes. Oh, I forgot to put him up here.
I was hoping we'd get to see Pickles. I got to say, Pickles the Frog already has more Instagram followers than me. It's funny.
He's still asleep in his bag.
Pickles the Frog, if you're not familiar, and because why would you be? He's only been around for a couple of days. Is this stuffed frog that she'd put on her mic stand at shows? Is he going to be there tonight?
Oh yeah, he's at every show at this point, starting like a week ago.
Okay. Alec Benjamin, you've been a fan of his for a while, and to get to play with him is pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm stoked. It's so awesome to be here. Like, I've been a fan of him since I was probably 15 or 16. Like, when I was trying to figure out how to become a better songwriter, I discovered his music, and it like really helped me in that way. And I was just so inspired by him. And so being on tour with him, so cool.
And songwriting, I mean, I look at that as kind of a personal thing, but you have kind of crowdsourced songwriting in a way. I guess you could say that, because you'll put pieces on TikTok, or you did at one time, and you'll get feedback. How does that tend to work for you? Because does that feel vulnerable when you're doing that?
Yeah, I mean, at first I just was posting like my songs and putting the lyrics, and then I started noticing people like commenting, "Hey, could you write a song about this or this?" And sometimes I would just scroll through them and be like, "Oh, I relate to that. I could write a whole song about that." And then I just would respond to the comment on TikTok with a chorus or a verse that I wrote, and then if people liked it, sometimes it convinced me to finish the song and like make it into a whole thing. And it's just been a cool way to go about writing.
Is anybody ever too mean?
Is anyone too mean?
Yeah.
On TikTok?
When you do that, does anyone get mean? Because that'd be my fear.
Like, mean about what? Just your songs?
Does anyone just say, "I don't like that"?
Yes.
You know? Yeah. You just don't listen to them.
Yeah.
To heck with those people, right?
They're all just as fake accounts.
I gotta stay on that grind.
All right.
Gotta keep her honest.
Sarah Kays, this has been fun. I appreciate it. Let's hear a few more. Sarah Kays in Sun King Studio 92.
I don't feel like you like me lately. I don't feel like I'm pretty. Do I have the same glow about me as that night in the city? When you told me, I remind you of the moon. I'm still holding onto that and onto you. When you look at me, do you still think that I shine brighter than anyone? Or have you seen somebody else lately who reminds you of the sun? I've been hoping since late September that you'd act how you used to. You keep saying you don't remember. Hate that I have to tell you how you told me. I remind you of the moon and you'd hold me, and then now you never do. When you look at me, do you still think that I shine brighter than anyone? Or have you seen somebody else lately who reminds you of the sun? When you look at me, 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 I know at your front door that I won't be spun around anymore. And I know what I'm in for when I Thank you. The day after you said goodbye, all I did was lay in bed and cry. But after 1 month I started to move on, and after 2 I felt alright. Then 3 months in, you were off my mind. In month 4 and 5, I was living my life. I was better and didn't have to try not to think of you until you reached out and said, remember that night we went for a drive. 2:30 in the morning, I kissed you, it was boring. We held each other tight. Before the night was over, you looked over your shoulder. Oh, I was doing fine. You said, remember that night, remember that night. Oh, I was doing fine. You said, remember that night, remember that night. The day after you had reached out, I was broken for the second time around. I prayed on the 3rd day that I would be okay, that I'd forget you were ever mine. Oh, I don't think you realize how long I had to fight to be living my life, to get better and never have to try not to think of you until you reached out and said, remember that night we went for a drive. 2:30 in the morning, I kissed you, it was boring. We held each other tight. Before the night was over, you looked over your shoulder. Oh, I was doing fine. You said, remember that night, remember that night. Oh, I was doing fine. You said, remember that night, remember that night. Over, you looked over your shoulder. Oh, I was doing fine. You said, remember that night, remember that night. Oh, I was doing fine. You said, remember that night, remember that night. Thank you.
All right. Sara K's and Sun King Studio 92, powered by Klipsch speakers and headphones. Good luck at the show tonight.
Thank you very much.
And thank you so much for stopping by. Let's hear it again for Sara K's.
Thank you.